or it's just it could be chemistry.
I get what you're saying there. So out of that right there, Pool C, in my opinion, I'm going to see fear coming out of that one. The way that they were able to play there in Anaheim. So let's go ahead and take a look at the real pool that I really want to look at is Pool D with Eon, Envy, as well as Quantic Next Threat. Break down those two teams there.
Okay, so Next Threat is a heavy hitter right now. With their new pickup, this is going to be a completely different team. They dropped Sin and they picked up Saints. So we're going to see a completely dominating Slayer team that, they were lacking last event. Mm-hmm. They didn't have that power from all four of their players, but I think with that pickup, they're going to do well. But Envy, I'm also looking forward to because they've had more time to establish themselves. Right. They didn't just get thrown together in the last week. They've got one event under the belt now, and they've had the last 4 weeks to practice, make sure everything's all together. And I think they're really focused on, putting in and trying to win this event.
So out of those two, Envy or Next Threat?
I think it'll go to a tiebreaker decision, or I think it'll go to
something tight.
Tight, yeah. Because I think what we might see is what we've seen at Columbus, where it came up to the other two teams that threw the other teams off or took one map away. That could be an issue as well.
So let's kind of take a quick look at what's to come here for today. We got Obey going against Icons Black, Quantic Next Threat going up against Force, Optic Gaming and Influence, Envy, and Next Threat. Again, that's a matchup that we want to really look at. That's what we're talking about. So that's at 9:15 Eastern. And then closing out the night, we're going to have Quantic Leverage going up against Obey Pro. And that'll be another good matchup to look at. Kind of get a real good feel of what Quantic Leverage is being able to produce here for this event. So these are the matchups that we're going to be looking forward to here today. Tomorrow is going to be another great day. But then we've got another great series to come here throughout for all Call of Duty Black Ops here in Raleigh, North Carolina. But coming up next, we'll have a chance to be able to sit down with Proofy, the self-proclaimed MVP there for Anaheim. So we'll stick around here as we'll be right back.
And welcome back. My name is Holiday Doc, and we are here at the 2011 North Carolina Raleigh event, and I'm here with the self-proclaimed MVP. And it was a big toss-up. I did a Twitter to see who you guys wanted to see on the stream here, and look who we got.
Got me, the MVP. No, I'm joking. I love my teammates. I think we're all capable of earning that MVP spot. We all come up, we play, we make big plays. So in my books, my entire team was the MVP for last
Exactly,
event.
And we just talked about that too. We said your team, each player is so important for the success of the guy next to you.
Exactly.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with that 100%.
So
without
if you
one of them doing something wrong, can mess up the entire team.
We've seen that a couple times in the last event there, where one little thing slipped, and then somebody else moved into that spot, and it just created the formation that you guys needed to win. And everybody's really excited to see if you guys can pull off back-to-back wins.
I think that's what's going to be good about this event. Last event, we didn't have as much chemistry as we do now. And, as you can see, when we play, the rotations will be just that much smoother.
Yeah.
Will be pretty hard to beat for this event.
So, speaking on chemistry as well for other teams, we've seen some last-minute teams get thrown together right before Anaheim. Are you a little bit worried about anybody, coming up and maybe challenging you guys for this spot?
In pool play, I really don't see a team coming out and beating us.
Back to the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit. I'm Corey Dunn alongside Holiday Doc, as we're about to see a matchup coming up here on the main stage. The first here in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're going to have Obey going up against Icons Black.
Yeah, we're going to see, one of my favorite game types, CTF, right off the start of this. And CTF is such an action-packed game lately. We're seeing some crazy maneuvers, and those overhead nades and those pre-nades are getting better and better every event. And I had the privilege of playing in a team scrim with some pros last week, and fell privy to that, getting killed every 5 seconds from nades.
Well, I think the issue that you ran into is you weren't accompanied by myself. And
That's true.
You and I probably taking on some of these pros would be a completely different situation.
Who should we challenge? A little 2-on-2 action, maybe here at Raleigh, and maybe at the primary stage.
Possibly.
This is an idea.
I like that idea. I think we might have to make something happen with it possibly tomorrow. But again, the matchup to come here is going to be Obey going against Icons Black. As you mentioned, Capture the Flag on firing range is going to be the first game type. Search and Destroy on Hanoi, followed by that with Domination Summit, and then Capture the Flag on Havana and Search and Destroy on firing range. Hello and welcome back to the Call of Duty Black Ops stream. I'm Corey Dunn alongside Holiday Duck as we're about to have the matchup between Icons Black and Obey as we're going to kick things off on Capture the Flag on Firing Range. And you mentioned by this point we've had several events for these teams to start to adapt and start to figure out these maps, and basically those nade points on a map like Firing Range, we're going to see a lot of it.
Yeah, for me, nades are the most important thing off the start of this game right now because they establish that first push, they establish that first run into opposition spawn, and then start to swap them where you need them to be on the map. But we're going to jump right in and on board with Nex actually. So we're going to see how his team is going to handle this, and it looks like there's a bit of a delay there at the last second.
Everyone probably got in about 15 seconds too late, and we'll see. We'll go ahead and play as if it's live right off the start. But let's go ahead and see what's going to happen. One of the things that you were mentioning before, we were talking about, was the nade placement. And there has been a point that I noticed that Felonies from Young Guns actually uses Scavenger to take complete advantage of those grenades.
Yeah, another thing I just want to bring up quick is I've seen an MP5 on the board, and that is very peculiar as it's not a very good gun to go up against any sort of FAMAS action with, as it's so sketchy to play with.
As right now we're with Spazin, who's back over inside of the trailer.
Yeah, Spazin now, is forced to back up, and both teams are just kind of head-to-head, going 1 for 1 in the center of the map here. Nobody's grabbing any sort of map control or situation control here, and we're just picking up some lucky kills as they run by.
For those of you who want to know who's on Team Obey, we've got Crump, Nex, Spazin, and Fears. And for Icons Black, we've got Killa, Terror, RJ34, and Ego.
Yeah, so definitely nice three-piece there. That's going to be their time to move up and get some points and get some map control, as RJ kind of threw him off from the side there, taking off Nex, and that was a really good kill. That allowed him to push into center and try to get them and slow them down. But look at here, Spazin grabbing 1 and Fears with 2. This is a really great push, and this is going to be a first flag run, I believe.
Spazin's got the flag heading over there towards the jungle side. He has a member to get that one cut. He may be able to easily pass on through, as right now it looks like it dove a little early, but he'll finally be able to come all the way back across and be able to pick up that first flag cap with 3 minutes left to play here in the first half.
Yeah, that was really good. You can hear them cheering on. They're happy about that first push, and the first flag cap is kind of crucial. It kind of shows your opposition, hey, we're here. We grabbed that first point. Come get us.
As right there you can see Spazin, who's up on top wood, has done a great job so far. As Nex has been able to pick up 2 there with the FAMAS.
Yeah, Spazin now pushed up. There was a flag pull, but not able to get out in time. Fears grab and kill in the back there, and Spazin finally picking off RJ34 as now they pushed in. They got really good setup right now. Somebody's bottom 10 watching respawns, but they didn't catch the backside as Killer respawned so far back on the jungle. They didn't know that they flop spawns, and that's very dangerous. Can't allow that. Got to have your communication rolling and make sure that that particular thing does not go down.
All right, we switch over here with Icons Black as Terror gets taken down there by Nex. As now we're back over here on board here with Ego. Ego spamming with that AK-74U, trying to stun this one out. He doesn't have any teammates to be able to help him out. That's Nex who has the flag. As Nex is able to take down Killer. As Ego trying to be able to push back around, and this looks like Nex is going to be able to get another flag cap here so far. Score is going to be 2-0. Here in the first half, and Obey doing a great job to kick things off.
Yeah, and this is that Obey that we see every event. They come out the first couple games, and just smash on people, and then it goes downhill from there. Hopefully they fix that in the off-season here. Hopefully they'll be able to hold it together, but as of right now, Icons is kind of getting thrown around the map like a ragdoll.
Well, you've got Nex, who's sitting at 11-5, Crump at 9-5, and Fears at 8-7. Therefore, Obey. As again, now we're back over here with Killa, who's been able to get a flag pull, but stunned, so they know exactly where he's at. He's going to get dropped there by Fears. As still trying to be able to push back in there, Fears able to pick up his second kill. As Ego's going to try at his attempt to be able to come in here and get this flag pull.
So it looks like Breezy is the only original member from Obey on this team now. The rest of the teammates got picked up very last minute. Empire, Episode, and Triz decided, hey, let's join up with Breezy. I think so far this is working very well for him. Look at those numbers on the board, too. If we can get the scoreboard just to pop up quick and let you guys see as well, we got a pretty solid showing from this team right now. And all the scoreboard will tell you that, as only person who's not in the double digits so far is Spazin. And he does have a capture, though, to back him up on that.
As right now the score 3-0 here for the first half. And a quick rundown, we got 11-6 there for Next, Fears at 12-7, and Crump at 13-7. And for Icons Black, the only member that was actually able to really produce was Killa, who was at, I believe, 11-6.
So what I kind of saw so far was the fact that we're getting a little too aggressive by the objective player. I think Ego needs to slow it down a little bit and wait for his teammates to push up and get those kills first before he starts just running in there and giving up kills too easily.
Ego pushed right through the middle. He's been able to get a flag pull. He's going to now have to try to be able to hightail it out of there. And with a nice little counter pull there by Nex, who's heading up there towards the back trailer. But Ego, the flag carrier, is going to be able to take him down. As now they're going to have to be able to push back around. This looks like it's going to be a flag cap there for Icons Black. Now the score is going to be 3-1 here on CTF Firing Range.
So we saw that Ego tried to pick up the flag a couple different times on the first round. His teammates weren't in position. And just like I said, when they had position, that was his time to grab flag, and he managed to do it so very nicely. He also had a little bit of a sneak play running through mid there. They didn't expect that.
He keeps trying to go through that front door as you got Spazin now, who's trying to shut things down. But some nice stuns coming in. He's just going to be able to back out of there. He's got his teammate who's under a lot of gunfire there towards that jungle side. That was Fears. He got dropped by Killa, but he's got two to worry about. There goes Killa, as now he's trying to be able to watch that backside, peeking back around. He's worrying about way too much. Really just need to focus out what's in front of him at a hand.
Yeah, the double stun by Nex. He knows he's in there, but Ego with the knife coming in, slicing and dicing, and he's going to be trying to grab this flag again, but not a pull so far. But letting Spaz get up there, it's kind of a mistake in a bit of exchange. And with almost got double pistol kill. Killing just barely picked out the kill on that. Crump coming in, picking up two, securing the spawn point, and Fears with the third. This is a nice pull right now.
Next, going to go ahead over there towards jungle side. Somebody off the spawn was able to put out a stun, but now he has a lot of cover fire. This is going to be an easy run unless his teammates get taken out. Great stun still coming in, trying to delay the inevitable as he's pushing in, and Ego comes in, chimes in with the frag grenade, taking down Nex, and Ego comes in with the pull, able to return the flag, and now he's making his move probably back over there towards that mid side.
Yeah, that was a really great play. They slowed him down long enough, and that nade landed at his feet. It looked like it actually made its way through the doorway, which is a tremendous nade throw.
You mentioned about the precision nades there in the pregame, and that's what's coming to fruition here in this matchup so far. Score still 3-1 here in favor of Obey, as right now Crump, he has the flag. He notices that Killa has the opposing flag. As Crump starting to be able to make his move here towards this, back towards the firing range. We may have a little standoff here for a little bit. As right there, Fear's doing a great job taking down RJ34. As now we're tied up here in the second half, 4-1 overall here between Icons Black and Obey.
Yeah, I love what I see so far. Going back and forth, there's no delays, there's not a lot of camping going on, and that's been the main complaint from a lot of pro teams when they place or capture the flag, is that an opposition, whoever it may be, always sets somebody in the back of the map and just likes to play that solid or that static defender, just moving around the back of the spawn, playing the head glitches, and beautiful shot there by Crump back to backs.
Crump trying to be able to push back across, and Terror answers back with his own two-piece, as now Spazin watching inside of mid. Just a great exchange of kills back and forth between these two teams, as now, again, Fears has the flag. And you can notice right here we're on board here with Spazin. Next picking up the flag. It looks like they're going to go ahead and pick up another flag cap here.
Yeah.
As
he got knifed at the last moment.
Ego again.
Whoa.
Ego doing a great job. He came in with earlier with a great frag grenade, picking off the flag carrier just in time, and this time he's able to pull out the blade and cut him down to size. As now the score still 4-1 with 45 seconds left to play here in this matchup.
That was too bad. That was, a potential flag cat that got shut down in the last couple seconds. And what I kind of looked and saw what happened there was they moved in, but then they all floated back to defend their main flag runner and left the side spawn completely open. They left C tunnel open. They left B ramp open. They moved in. They hid Ego somewhere in there. I don't know how he could have been hiding so long, but he came in, knifed the flag, got it back, and unfortunately, it was a little too late situation.
As this one looks like it's going to go to Obey. But a great little effort there at the end. We saw some really great frag grenades coming in from Icons Black. As right there, the final score there for Capture the Flag for firing range is going to be 4-2 overall in favor of Obey. That's going to push us off to Search and Destroy on Hanoi. As we'll be right back here in just a moment with more Call of Duty Black Ops. Hello and welcome back. We're again Obey leading the series 1-0 here over Icons Black after picking up that game type there for Capture the Flag on fire range 4-2. As that's going to bring us to Search and Destroy on Hanoi. We mentioned earlier about the changes that have been made to Search and Destroy, and this will finally give us a chance to really see if that's the case, see if there's any type of differences coming into this one.
It's going to be hard to call, and early on calls like this always get me into trouble every single time I do it. So I'm not going there. You will not get a prediction out of me this time. But we are moving into Search and Destroy. Search and Destroy I really want to see go down because it's going to show us exactly how the rest of these S&D games are going to go down. I know a lot of teams were not in favor of the rule change, but I know we are a little bit limited in time constraints. They wanted to shorten up our overall matches, so they decided to go with the
domination. Oh, sorry.
There you go. Exactly. I agree.
As, again, we're going to see what's going to happen here on Hanoi. I mean, what is the typical strategy overall on Search and Destroy Hanoi?
Everybody, when you're trying to plant that bomb, you're going to want to try and go over a control spotlight as quick as possible. Mm-hmm. The pre-nades and the pre-fire spots on this side are very difficult. You got to catch them early, otherwise you're going to allow somebody to slip in behind you and potentially wipe out your whole team in a matter of seconds. Because when you are planting the bomb on that top side, you are very wide open and very contained, all too close together.
One of the things that I noticed from the Capture the Flag on firing range, Obey, they were doing a great job. Their sling was doing really good. So
they're nailing those shots.
Their accuracy is pinpoint at this moment. Let's see if they can carry that over to Search and Destroy on Hanoi here with Obey and Icons Black.
So what I seen earlier was Obey was playing and scrimming as soon as those doors opened up. I, however, didn't get the chance to see if Icons Black was actually getting in those game times. So that could be an indication of, they needed a game to warm up.
They spent most of their time playing against Optic Gaming over there in the pro area. And so they definitely have been playing just as long as Obey, so I'm not going to give them the benefit of the doubt on that one.
All right. So it looks like we are going to see this initial push over and a heavy push into Spotlight, and this is kind of what I was talking about, holding down this area. Oh, got to be careful. Terror threw the stun, didn't land it. He snuck out of it. Oh, and Spazin not able to, Terra was not able to get out of the way, and it looks like 2 went down, and Killa's left. Killa's grabbing up Spazin, and Crump sneaks in behind, and this is that scenario I was just talking about, was if you leave your backside open, you're going to get caught with your pants down, and they're going to come in and wipe up.
As right now it's got 40 seconds left to play. It's going to be down now, down to a 1-on-2 here with Fears and Next. As Killa peeks out, I was going to try to be going down for the chase, but a little game of cat and mouse just lured him in, and he got taken down from the backside. As the first round is going to go here to Obey.
Yeah, it looks like a bait and switch situation there. He jumped in, tried to get the initial kill in front of him, but turned around and Next took him out from the back.
Just a great action of being able to flank back around. You watched it right there off the start. They could have been opened up so much quicker if he was able to pick up that first kill and try to be able to make his move. That's really what it comes down to, it is getting those entry kills here in each of these bomb sites. It doesn't matter what search and destroy you're looking at, whatever game map it is.
Exactly.
So right now we see Spazin, who's watching from Lightroom over there to the movie room towards the film room.
Yeah, top film is a dangerous spot to be in. There's always going to be somebody up there. You have to recognize that it's one of the most sought-after positions on this map, as well as this doorway that they keep pushing into. And I'm not sure about that. I'm not really liking how brazen they are. Just trying to I'm just going in this doorway. Let's see what happens.
As right now you've got Crump, who spots one, able to connect there into RJ34. Now it can be down to a 3-on-3. As you see Crump watching over his teammates, starting to be able to push in here, taking a look there through the window, trying to clear out that B-bomb site.
Yep.
And still wrapping back around, jumping is trying to be able to connect. That's Crump. He's only got 25 seconds left to be able to get this bomb down here for Obey. Again, it's left up to Crump and Nex.
Oh,
as
beautiful
Crump
jump
connects
shot
there into Terra, it's going to be down to a 1-on-2 Killa all by himself. As he's got to be able to try to pull this one off. Killa there into Crump, now down to a 1-on-1. Next, under some gunfire and not a lot of time to work with, chasing him down and trying to be able to shut him out. As there goes, picks him off. As you can see, the frustration right there on Killa.
He was just trying to wait out the time and secure this nice win, but Nex knew that, through this perfect stun, wrapped himself around there and got the kill.
You have to understand the environment that you're playing in.
Yeah.
If you have no getaway, then don't try to get away.
Yeah, there was no spot for him to get to safely, and you have to realize that there's stuns, and the stuns will slow you down for a long time.
Even if he didn't get stunned, there was still a sliver of a chance to be able to get him from the backside while he's trying to run away.
He could have snuck in or got behind the stairway, but still, like you said,
it would have been close.
It was super close, but great play nevertheless. And we're seeing this super strong push towards B again and again and again. Nobody wants to even try A.
It's one of the things that the Call of Duty Black Ops community is kind of stuck on. They focus on a bomb site. They say it's the stronger of the two. That is going to happen. But at the same token, you got to remember that the A-bomb site still exists. But looking at it right now, they're doing a great job of being able to slay and take out Icons Black. They got picked off one by one. Crump and Spazin were the only two taken out. As we take another look here at the kill cam here with Nex, tossing in a great stun and decides to go ahead and spam through the wall, takes him out. As now the score is 3-0, I believe, here in favor of Obey.
Round 4 is about to go underway, and like we said before, these quick S&D games, first to 4, changes everything. Icons doesn't have the ability to bounce back at this point. They have to win this next match, and it just makes it so much more difficult.
One of the things that I mentioned to you in our off time was that an S&T round can last 15 seconds. We're almost done with the search and destroy.
Yeah.
If the issue was that they wanted to eliminate time, search and destroy is not where you want to do it at.
I'm right there with you, man.
I'm off my soapbox now.
Okay, Spazin is now pushed up. He's got 2 to his left. They're both watching L. He's exchanging right now, holding on to RJ34. RJ34 got caught on the run, and that's a very dangerous thing to do. Spazin now left alone. 2-on-1 situation, evens it up, and not able to hold on as Ego is able to land it out with Killer here and put a point on the board finally.
Doing a great job coming back in. You can see Ego now peeking in at the right time, using that box window. Overall, though, you just looked at it and how Obey pushed in is they just went in to just shoot and kill.
Yeah, they just wanted to end it right there. And they got caught. So, moving back over onto the offensive side, Ego, Killa, and it looks like this could be a potential push to A. And why don't people go to A? Well, it's very difficult to get to first. And the spot that's hard to get to first on Search and Destroy is obviously going to be the most dangerous one to do. You only get 1 life, and right there they left it open, and looks like Obey read them perfectly. And what is this MP5 again?
As you can see, that's Killa, who's utilizing the MP5. Maybe you assume that he was going to be in some close range action. As right there he gets spotted. As again the bomb is down right next to that A bomb site. And they're going to have to be able to work back around. But Killa needs to maintain this upper side so he can watch over the top. But his teammates just taking some time. There's 35 seconds left here in the round. It's down to a 3v3 with Next, Fears, and Spazin. There for Obey and Killa. RJ34 and Terror coming in here for Icons Black. Killa pushed in. He has no cover fire right now
at all.
But he looks like he'll be able to get the bomb down, and I'm just completely lost for words on why no one was around to be able to spot him there towards that A bomb site. But coming in, they were able to get that bomb down. It's going to be down to a 2-on-2. Next and Fears here for Obey, starting to be able to push back in there as they're going to try to be able to make their move as Terror spots his own teammate's body, and he's going to get be able to pick up two. Pick up one, and RJ34 there into Next as now the score's 3-2 as now we're starting to see some sloppy play coming in here for Obey.
Well, they had a good initial read, but weren't able to hold it down, weren't able to get their teammates, the rest of the teammates, over to A to kind of defend that bomb down.
The call must not have been made because otherwise, well, he should have been able to make that call. He knew that he was going in and getting that bomb down and planning there towards that A bomb site. They should have been able to get a good rotation over there towards the A side, maybe even possibly start to flank in because there was no confrontation shortly after that bomb was trying to get planted. But as we go ahead and hop in here, you got Spaz in the bomb carrier starting to be able to push over here towards that B bomb site. Next got taken out early in the round. As again, the score 3-2, still in favor of Obey. They're one round away from taking the series 2-0 so far. As Spazin taking down RJ34, it's going to be down to a 2-on-3. Ego and Killa here for Icons Black.
They're in a tough spot right now. They've locked down this long room. They've got the window covered. They've got backside. They're looking up top light. So the only spot they got to really worry about is the A side, the ticket booth area. And it looks like Spazin has rotated in and is watching that perfectly right now. So this is going to be a really hard formation to break.
As right now, they're just going to go ahead and start to be able to push in here as Killa's all by himself now down to a 1-on-2. As Spazin doing a great job. Now he has the ability to watch both points. Being able to push in there, and he's go ahead and pushes out, shuts down Killa, and Obey taking this one 4-2. I guess they're trying to stay consistent from game time to game time after taking that capture the flag on firing range 4-2 as well. And that's going to push us on to domination on Summit. And one of the things, if you want to take in consideration about a game type like domination, it's all about shots and being able to properly communicate and be able to move back around and work as a team. And again, I'll more reiterate on the fact that it's about slaying for domination, and we're going to see that coming up here, probably even more so with Obey.
So Summit Domination, I know Icons is all about the steady aim, especially with Ego. We could potentially see him rock out with a shotgun and steady aim on that map, which makes very, very difficult to control any side of B, and keep them out of there is going to be tough.
So we'll find out what he's going to be probably utilizing there for the next game. Right now, we've got Obey leading this series 2-0 against Icons Black here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Hello and welcome back to the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Here for Call of Duty Black Ops. I'm Corey Dunn alongside Holiday Doc as we're underway here in this matchup between Obey and Icons Black here on the main stage. As we still have a lot of matches to get into here, but right now Obey leading this series 2-0 over Icons Black.
Yeah, and they've done very well so far. Definitely nailing every single shot and missing a little bit, just getting a little overzealous, pushing up too quickly, getting too aggressive without setting up first. But other than that, they're nailing their shots, and when I watch the aim go down, it's pretty consistent. Straight shots, not a lot of sway. Whereas I've seen on the other side, we watched Ego run with a hip-fire weapon on firing range CTF, and he was kind of moving all over the place. I'd like to see them bounce back, just because it creates a better commentating experience. We're going to see teams fight back and forth. It's always good. You don't want to see sweeps. It's not that fun.
Makes our job a lot easier, though.
True story. Speaking on the 3.5-hour Fear game, Fear versus Leverage
that
in
was
the finals.
all worth it. If I have to mention anything, whenever I was going through that matchup, at first I wanted Fear to win it quickly
Hey,
and finish it quickly.
And you know, I still owe my producer Nexie something for that little mishap as I shoved cake in my mouth, and he's like, "Okay, back to you, back to you." And that was probably the most candid experience I've had here.
It was great because I was chowing down on some cornbread, and you're on your own. And I was just like, "No, it's you."
Yeah, that's all you.
That's all you.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, so right now again, let's go ahead and focus right here on Obey and Icons Black, 2-0 here in favor of Obey, and that brings us to domination here on Summit.
So like I always like to say on this map in particular, the team that controls top side on glass overlooking C and both B is going to be the team that wins. That's the most powerful point on this map. It's called a power point. You know, every map has one, and the team that, you know, learns them and locks them down quickly or even rotates back every time is going to be the team that, you know, obviously amounts to more kills. And when you're playing that position, you want to throw your strongest Slayer in that point.
Next doing a great job being able to not only hold on to that C domination side, but to be able to pick up that kill. A G11 being taken in here in the hands of Fears. Who's been able to pick up 2, and I believe I also saw a Spectra as well.
You know, the G11 reminds me so much of the FAMAS from Modern Warfare 2. It was that gun that you went to when you needed 100% accuracy. You know, using it on this map, I'm not 100% sure or confident with because there's a lot more close quarter action going on. But I guess if you combine it with some steady aim, you're going to have a solid weapon. And especially when you don't have to worry about any sort of connection issues, it's going to make for, you know, a much better experience with the weapon.
Yes, right now you've already got Obey who's leading this one. They've been able to pick up 2 capture points so far.
Ooh, a little bit of a tease. Killer drawing him out there, able to take down Next after a while of getting around the map. Fears picking up a kill on Ego, and I'm not sure what weapon Ego is using yet. I'd like to know because he's always, you know, surprising us. And really nice throwback there. Spazin getting hit with the grenade, slowing it down, picking it back up, and throwing it out of the direction of his path. And oh, Ego with the over the head through the window, landing directly on B, and then finishing off Fears from the top. That was an amazing 3-piece play by Ego.
Ego's using the FAMAS after being able to pick up that headshot, but great precision grenades coming in so far for Ego throughout this whole series. As right now the A and C domination site belong to Obey, but Icons Black, they've got that B side. Let's go ahead and see what they're going to be able to do here. As you can see, Next starting to be able to push back around, trying to be able to control this power point, as you say.
There you go.
As they can go ahead and get that overlook over that B domination site.
You know, the power point, power position.
Hey, I'm down for all of it. Oh,
wow. Slice and dice. What the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap.
Right now, Killa is able to take down Fierce, starting to be able to push back in here as Icons Black doing a great job holding down this B domination site as they're going to go ahead and try to push back in here. Crump going to try to be able to maintain that C domination site. Now the A and B side belong to Icons Black as Spazin getting taken down from the right side there by Terror. Terror's been able to pick up 2 so far.
C is a really hard point to take by yourself. You're so wide open. There's so many points to watch and counter, and it's difficult, especially when you have this topside spawn too, because the nades are going to be thrown. You're going to have 2 possible angles from topside, 2 from down below, and 1 above you on the right. So kind of a difficult position to be in, but, you know, teasing them, forcing them to change pace or change position direction off the spawn from B, and making them check C is going to slow them down, and eventually, you know, you'll let your teammates get into position a lot quicker.
As RJ34 able to pick up 2, taking both down. Crump and his teammate pushing back around. Spazin going to be able to counter in, be able to try to clear out this B domination side. Nice jumping shot there. I believe that was by Ego.
Yeah.
As now we're back over here on board here with Crump, who's heading over there towards the rail side.
Yeah, rocking the bling with the Spectre. Spectre's been a go-to gun for a couple players in off-season, but we didn't see it at all in the last event. I'm curious to see it being used now. But, you know, if it works, it works. You can't knock any weapon being used. Spazin, great job back-to-back up there, you know, controlling both points, looking out the window, being very aware, and the communication level right now, you can tell, is definitely on point.
I'm a real fan of Spazin's movement throughout the map, how he's been able to flow through those windows and really trying to maneuver himself to be able to get in great position to be able to counter whatever's coming in at hand. His struggle is his gunfire, his accuracy that's coming into play, but as he was taken out there by Killas. As now we're back over here on board here now with Fears.
So spawns are going to help him out tremendously right there, as both of his teammates are right by C to counter that position right away. Topside window or topside glass is out of the way as Fear is taking out Terror from down below. Got another one there. Next, wiping that up.
Ooh.
But turned around and left him wide open there.
As Rhino score 85, or make that 87-77. Minute 40 left to play here in the first half. As Obey is leading this one. And now they've been able to pick up 3 domination sides coming in with that triple cap.
Mistakes were made, bro. Killed himself as he missed the grenade that tried to land through the window and take out the person on A. Unfortunately, it looks like it bounced back and landed in his lap as he tried to go through the doorway. Spazin now being the anchor to the spawns, and 4 down. That's a beautiful play, and they held down the spawn there, the anchor inside A, allowing them all to float over backside C, and then they had everybody in position to take care of that right away.
As right now you can see they're spawning over there towards that C domination site. That's Icons Black. They're going to try to be able to wrap back around as Spazin able to take down Killa. Still trying to be able to hold down that C domination site. Nice job just maintaining and holding it in there inside that room. Pushing back up, picking up his 3rd kill so far. As now he switched back over, he's been able to pick up another gun, so he's got the AK-74U as well as the FAMAS. And he's just going to go ahead and hold down this C domination site next over there on the other side of the map. There with the FAMAS been able to pick up 2 as they've been able to maintain this triple cap so far for 40 points almost.
Yeah, it was so close there for a long time, and all of a sudden, that triple cap just eats away at every bit of that. And now it's
that's his fifth kill so far there for Spazin, as he's just been able to stay alive for quite some time. 21-10 overall there for Spazin. We didn't see much life from him there in that capture the flag other than the OBJ run, but so 143-81 they're in favor of Obey.
Really good first round here. They had some trouble in the beginning, trouble in the middle, but held out throughout the end there. And that anchor point on A, where they got the initial spawn trap, set everything up, and it was really good. Holding on to it for quite that time. Some great plays even from Ego. Throwing up the triple kill with the nade, and then the jump shot with the pistol. Some beautiful shots.
Definitely, I mean, these are top teams that are out here on the main stage. There's no doubt about that. It's just a matter of how much control has been going on here for Obey in this series so far. But, one of the things that we've looked at, we've also, we want people to go buy specially marked boxes of Hot Pockets because everyone who redeems their code automatically receives a free MLG silver membership. Details below. You can find that out on the MajorLeagueGaming.com there as well. So.
Yep. And Hot Pockets are delicious.
Mark that one.
They are a great snack for late night gaming, and something that my wife hates every day when I stay up. Got to get the gaming sessions in. Got to watch these teams. Got to make sure I'm doing my homework. I keep trying to tell her it's honey. It's for work. It's for work. Don't worry. But I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to use that.
143-81 as Obey's leading there from the first half, so we head in here towards the second half.
Second half, why don't we get some predictions from you? Do you think this is going to be a sweep, or are we going to see...
Oh, it's going to be a sweep.
Yeah.
I thought so after watching the first map and how well they were on. Obey was making their shots, but that's easy to say now, so I won't take credit for it. But right now they've got a 62-point lead. Here right off the start, but Spazin and Next picking up those 2 early frag grenade kills.
Yep.
As right now they're going to go ahead and start to be able to push back around. Ego trying to be able to defend off in that B domination side, unable to pick. He couldn't choose a target between the two, and ends up getting taken down there. As Killa pushing back in, he spots one. As he's going to try to be able to wrap back around there through that garage. He's going to be able to pick up his second kill there. And still trying to be able to push up here towards that B domination site. Nice job dropping down, taking down Crump.
Yeah, that was a really great play. But, like we said earlier, that the starting nades on these maps are getting better and better. And as we seen there, he tried to walk down the middle of the laneway, head into gold, and he got naded. Had no opportunity to even make it out of his initial 30 feet. So very, very, very good start to this second round here.
Crump peeks out with a nice headshot there into RJ34 and a whiff by both of them, and Crump just says, well, I'm done with you. I'm just going to let you be, and so Killer takes advantage of that one. As now it's going to be, they've got a 7-point lead so far here for Obey, as still that A domination side is the only thing that the Icons Black have been able to maintain so far, and that's not going to help their case.
No, and now they've just landed themselves into a triple cap situation. They got 3 members down, now 1 man spawn, or 2 spawned up now. He's got help, but taking C by yourself is going to be dangerous. You can land yourself as an easy kill.
I haven't seen much action or any movement towards any of these domination sites this whole time, but looking at it as well, I mean, the way that you've got Obey playing right now, they're just doing a great job as a team overall. They're looking at their stats so far, 5-4, 3-1, 5-3, 4-4. They're just even across the board and just completely working as a team and being able to maintain. They've got a 31-point lead here in the second half alone. That's over 93 points overall.
And it's detrimental to the rest of your gameplay, especially for tonight, when you start your first match off in a competition and just getting dominated on. So they got to remember that this is just the first game, got to work past it, got to hold it together for as long as possible. And I know Ego's having a lot of trouble right now. He's at 1-7. I don't know what's going on.
Wow, nice shot.
Definitely in a slump. And as we switch back over, Crump here, Killa is doing well in the opposite team, but whereas this team, everybody's doing well right now.
As right now, again, we're back over here on board here with Nex here from Obey, as right now they've got a 93-point lead still. As right now you can see Nex trying to be able to come back in. They've been completely countercapped though here by Icons Black, so there's still some hope coming in here for Icons Black, but they're going to have to start to be able to make that road pretty quickly, especially after the rule change that happened there in Anaheim with that 6.5 minutes being narrowed down. But right now that's still possible if they can be able to maintain something like this triple cap.
Ooh, and the nades come knocking on his door as he tried to hit up C, not able to do so, and then A gets taken out as well. This is a bad spot to be in. They had a huge lead, but they're letting it just drain away as they're not able to control the situations and make sure that they got the map control before they move into these points. And I think they were getting a little bit confident there and trying to go for some replay shots or some highlights, but not able to, or not remembering that they still got to win the game here.
As right now, the A domination site currently belongs to Obey. As they're starting to be able to wrap back around, trying to take a look here. We're on board here with Crump. Crump able to pick up 2. That's his 3rd consecutive kill so far. As now he's starting to be able to push over here towards his top server room. Spots 1, make that 4, and he'll finally get shut down. That kill streak ended there by RJ34.
RJ shut him out there right when he needed to, and then Fears and Nex respond. That's 3 down. And this is going to lead the way for another cap to be taken here. They are going for B, but B gets denied. Crump responding to Ego, and they did take C, so they got 2 points back on the board. They're only losing by 4 or 5 points here on the second round, but you know their first round continues over, so they're still in good shape. Not much time left either. 1:45 to go. Still opportunity to screw up and let the opposite team take advantage, but I don't think they're going to be able to make up those points.
As again, they've got a 63-point lead so far. As they're starting to be able to narrow that lead down, and believe now it's at a 60-point lead. Still doing a great job being able to pick up, holding down these 2 domination sites, but a minute 20 as Fear struggling.
What was that?
Wow.
You have a brain fart? Just throw his controller down? What happened?
As right there, Crump being able to pick up 2, taking down Terror and Ego.
Jeez, and even on Ego's part, he should have seen the red dots poking up behind him a lot quicker than he did, but that's hard to explain. I don't know what happened there. And Crump, beautiful plays there, back-to-back, and then a jump shot, picking off Ego in the head spot, and then wrapping around into B here, taking out Terror. And Crump, I think, is fully aware that he just wants to put the paint on right now.
As this one, looking at it right now, doing some quick math, there's 40 seconds left to play, and the best they can do right now is 24 points. This game is over. especially on the fact that they've been able to hold a triple cap so far. So Obey is going to go ahead and sweep this series 3-0 here for our first match of Call of Duty Black Ops here in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Good start to the game or to the matchups for tonight, but man, I didn't want to see a sweep. I wanted to see a little bit more come out of out of Icons. I know they've been heavily preparing for the next $1 million tournament here, but yeah, that's no excuse.
Crump went 22-11 there in this second half here for domination on. Here on Summit. And again, so you've got it right there. You've got Obey taking it there over Icons Black. First map was Capture Flag on Fire Range 4-2. Search and Destroy on Hanoi 4-2. And then taking this one here on Domination Summit.
Ego had some really nice plays there. You've seen him some back-to-back threes and some really nice jump shots, but the overall consistency of the team just wasn't able to hold on long enough to pull out a victory here. And then even on Search and Destroy, they had a little bit of momentum push for a little bit, not able to control it long enough to come out on top, and that's just a case of the better team holding out the victory here, and it seems like a much more prepared team than we've seen before.
The only thing that I really noticed the difference between the two teams has to be the fact that Obey just looked like they were here and was ready to shoot.
Yeah.
Their accuracy was better, more so than Icons Black, and that really did make the difference in each of those firefights that the teams got into.
Very solid performance on all of the controls of that team. And it's so interesting to see that how precise these guys are with controllers. And I know we get flack from the PC side of things all the time, saying, hey,
you do get a lot of flack from that.
You guys play FPS on console, what's wrong? But these guys are tremendously skilled with those sticks.
I don't think that's ever been a question from a PC gamer about FPS, that y'all are skilled in the fact that you can utilize a controller. But we'll get into that a little bit later on about whether or not the mouse and keyboard or the controller. We've never even touched that subject since I've been on the stream.
Yeah,
but we will.
We're going there, bro.
But we will. So stick around here on the Call of Duty Black Ops stream. Coming up next, you've got Quantic Next Threat going up against Force, and so many more matches to come here for Friday's Black Ops schedule. As we'll be right back, I'm Corey Dunn alongside Holiday Doc. As we'll be right back here on the Call of Duty Black Ops stream.
Welcome back, everybody. Holiday Doc here alongside a YouTube legend. Woody's Gamertag has finally decided to join me here at an MLG event, blowing off packs, in fact, for me, which, what can I say? I'm a little blushy.
Thanks for having me on, man. This is amazing, the setup you guys have.
It's a full production set, and I was so surprised the first time I've ever seen it, but it's amazing to come back here and see the production value and everything that they're doing to provide us here at esports, and MLG, only the best possible equipment out there.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like, I went here, this is my second event. I was at Raleigh last year, and, I came into the event even not knowing a lot of the players, and by Sunday, I was a total fanboy. Like, I saw them getting hot dogs or something out next to me, and I couldn't believe I was, like, this close to the players. It's cool, the access you get here.
Yeah, and there's so many new people getting involved. I'll have to go and introduce you to some MMA fighters that are here. We've got...
Joe's here, baby.
Yeah.
And,
Joe, and we've got some National Guard guys here who are also big fans of esports, and it's only getting bigger. And one thing I have a big time trouble dealing with is, why don't you think more YouTubers are getting behind the competitive scene?
I think you're starting to see YouTubers get behind the competitive scene. To me, it's the next wave, right? Like, there's more than one way to succeed on YouTube. You can just be entertaining, but we're seeing things like the Billionaires Challenge. We're seeing things like these commentator showdowns. And YouTubers are starting to get recognized for their talents there. And then, of course, we bring in these pros, and we see how they stack up against the YouTubers, how they stack on top of the YouTubers, quite frankly, for the most part. And, it's amazing. So, and the pros are good guys, too. I'm happy to have met them.
Yeah, exactly. So many pros are now, making that next step, making sure that they're not only just a pro player, but a pro personality. And that's the most important thing. If you had to pick one YouTuber to transition into competitive, who would you pick?
There's a couple guys out there that I think have the gun skill to be those pro guys. Like Marco J is on the top of my head right now. Fearkratz is a guy that people talk about a lot. I haven't seen them work in a team environment, right? Like, that's the thing they need to do. They need to sort of partner up with like an Optic team, play with them a lot, and learn how to cooperate. But there's a couple of the top YouTubers, not me, that have the kind of gun skills that you see, at the top levels.
Well, once again, thank you so much for jumping back here. I'm sure this won't be the last time we'll be able to get you maybe on some camera action. But we're going to jump into the matchup here very quickly. We've got Team Force up against Quantic Next Threat, and we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. And welcome back once again, Holiday Doc here alongside Woody's Gamertag, a YouTube legend, one of the first guys to really start the wave of popular commentators, and you've helped out quite a few people make their mark. And now you're here helping out with the MLG event, and I gotta do it to you. You gotta commentate this next match with me.
I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm here. I'm here to help.
All right, so let's jump right in. We are going to be playing Firing Range, Capture the Flag, and can you offer any insight onto how you would play this match?
Oh my gosh, me? So I thought Firing Range was a really great map until I started playing with these elite level guys, and it is a cluster. It's a mess. These guys are going to hit their nades. I'll sit back in awe.
All right, so we're going to jump right back into the game, and I'd like to get on board with Next Threat right away because this is the team I personally feel is going to make waves in the community right now with their new pickup, bringing on Saints, one of the most powerful Slayers we've seen at last event. And like you said, we're going to see these nades, and those nades land early. Sensor picking up a kill on Mochilla center map. We've got some contestant Firing Range down there, and Virus picks up the kill. Got a teammate in front of him, and they're pushing him very nicely. A good setup so far.
What's with the Valentine scope? What do you think?
The Valentine scope. He's got heart. He hearts you. So just to let you know, we are on the board that doesn't have the score screen up, so we just get a view of both teams, and it's kind of nice for us here, commentators. We can see both sides of the field, and early on I'm seeing Vengeance, and Vengeance consistently drops huge numbers in these events, and he's only been coming up short when the pressure seems to get to him, but he starts the events off really well, and he drops lots of consistent numbers, 30s. We've seen a couple 28s from him last event, and he's such a powerful Slayer, and you got to watch out for him.
The Slayer's an especially important role in these competitive matches compared to pub matches because of that respawn delay.
Yeah, 7.5 is not a lot of time to really get them back to their spawn, but it is a reset, and you got to be worried about it. And the team that controls those respawns, controls the delays, is going to be the team that is obviously going to win the matchup. So, Virus now pushing into bottom side of the Firing Range, the pathway, the flag highway, as most people call it, because this is the most popular route to go. We've got two members up here, Virus and his teammate Vengeance, but Hurdle taking out Vengeance, and Virus in a good spot to counter that, going 1 for 1. But it looks like he is going to have one more to deal with as Mochilla gets taken out here. And somebody actually tweeted at me when we called it out, and Mochilla is Spanish or another language for backpack. Did you know that?
I had no idea.
So it's actually a really clever name, one of the most clever names I've seen be formed here in a while. How have you been liking the event so far?
These events are incredible.
Yeah.
It's a show to see. It's cool online, and it's cool in person. I bought the season pass for HD.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm happy about it.
Yeah, for sure. Getting rid of those ads, too, as much as I like plugging this stuff. But, one thing I got to ask you as well is it kind of difficult for new players to even want to show up here? Like, do you feel if you don't think you are at that level to compete, but do you think if you were and you were trying to gather a team, do you think it would be daunting and kind of scary to kind of show up to one of these events?
Maybe a little bit, but you can forgive yourself on that. I'm wishing that I had put together a team and played this time around. If you don't have your entire sense of self-worth encompassed in how good you are at Call of Duty, then you can come here and make a run at it and see what you can do.
Yeah, when you're not so worried about how other people are going to watch and see, you had to have more fun. And Optic is a big defender of that very topic. If you ever ask Optic how you think they're going to place here, they don't care. They say, hey, we're here to have some fun. We're going to play the game. And wherever we place is where we place.
Really? Because I was just talking to them, and they said they weren't going to lose a map.
Oh. Well, they're definitely going to lose a map. There's never been a Call of Duty team to go the distance without winning a map. Now, if we were going to talk about Halo, Instinct, they don't ever lose, and it'd be so frustrating to play against that caliber of a team.
They're amazingly good right now.
So now I see we are winning. Their next threat is winning by 2-0, and ultimately right now I'm seeing a lot of great formations, lots of very structured plays go down. We're seeing the close, the swoop into path. We're seeing the setup. B ramp is being covered, and the flag runner is just walking back almost untouched. As whenever they respawn, they're watching center and they're watching all their areas and controlling the engagements.
I love it when you say it. So do you think when the spawn swap, the other team will be able to come back?
Ultimately, I think we're going to see some more flag caps on the other side because this is the spawn that you want to have. This is the spawn where most people get most of their points. Ultimately, though, when you switch over, you have to be that defensive team on the bottom side because, like we said, it's easier to grab flags and go. All right, so another question that my producer really wants to know, he's a big fan of you, he'd probably want your autograph after, is if you had to make a YouTube star team that only focused on competitive for like the next 2 months, who would you pick and why?
Thinking it through. So I like Onslaught a lot.
Yes.
Not only does he have top gun skills, but he's one of those guys that calls out well and makes his entire team better. So he's there. I like T-Mark for those same reasons. Mark J has just, his gun skills are incredible. He's a great guy, which is important. It's important to have your team work well together. If you were to have an awesome Slayer that tore down the team around him, that's not good. And fourth guy, well, it can't be me, so let me think this through.
Will you coach?
Yeah, I'll coach.
Coach Woody.
That'll work, and I'll stick you on there too.
All right, sounds good. Even though, hey, I don't think I could ever convince my wife to let me have the playing schedule that I once had a few years ago. That's just not going to fly. So early on here, we're seeing a very dominant next threat team. And, without the pun that, Mr. Corey Dunn said earlier, next threat ultimately is the next threat in this competition. And it's not like they haven't been a very good team before. They just didn't. It seemed like they had a missing link. And I think now that with Saints is on the team, they have a new blast of confidence. They've got new elements to their game to force upon the opposite side. And it's working out for them so far. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to be watching Mochilla, which is backpack.
In Spanish.
He's
I like it.
backpacking his team, and he's controlling White right off the start of this game. Very good spot to be in. Watching the respawns, watching the cuts, and ultimately disturbing any sort of flow off of respawn. So what else can you tell me about you in general? You didn't go to PAX. You had plans to go to PAX.
I did, but the MLG thing was just too alluring.
Yeah.
I like it here. I'm local to here, and I don't think I'll miss another MLG Raleigh if they keep coming back.
I think we're going to be. I hope to come back here. The humidity, though, as soon as I got off the plane, I was like, "What is this?" There's no such thing as humidity in Canada. Let me tell you that.
Your Canadian blood has made you soft.
I know, but this beard has made me strong. So, coming backstage here, immediately you got let back. You got your VIP pass. Optic Hex hooked you up. Seeing these big name guys here, is it a trend you think we'll see in the future? More popular people? I don't know if you saw it, but Optic called out X-Jaws to maybe coach Optic for the next event.
I didn't see that.
Yep.
That'd be pretty neat. X-Jaws is an excellent player, better than some people know. And as far as they didn't actually let me back here. I had to tap on someone's shoulder and get an escort.
You didn't pull out do you know who I am?
No, I didn't pull that out at all. But I had been introduced to someone who had access back here earlier today.
Yep.
So I tapped on his shoulder, asked for a little help, and here I am.
Right on. It's always good to see you, and having you back here, we're seeing that Valentine emblem on the red dot. I'm not a big fan of it. I stick to my blue red dot, or blue dot essentially. That's all I go with. What do you usually play with?
So after I watched the first MLG event, I switched to the blue one because I saw the guys play it here. After I watched another MLG one, I switched to the Valentine, just copying these guys, step for step. And lately I've been playing with the Predator dot, which is just terrible.
Yeah.
But you don't see it a lot, so change it up a bit.
Just having some fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of Predator, we had Predator come out to Anaheim last event, and I asked him if he would ever start a team, and he's like, no, not unless they do snipers only. So it's interesting to see all these guys, come out with the YouTube side of things. And I think the only, big YouTuber that kind of does competitive as well right now is Nate Shot. Nate Shot's pushing, I think, 90,000 subscriptions on his channel there. And we talked about it earlier, and he has a hard time posting anything but sniping on his channel, and I think that's kind of stuck him in a bit of a rut. So do you think competitive YouTubing will ever take up a big portion of the views?
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, I think it's become the next thing, right? People who watch YouTube commentaries watch a lot of YouTube commentaries. And you can only hear me tell my boring lifeguard stories so many times. You can only hear, a Mail Monday so many times. You need this next thing to do. And at the moment, this competitive gaming thing has been that next thing, with the commentators playing against each other, involving some pros.
And I think, Hutch and Fwiz and the house and the daily or the weekend streams that they do, I think that's helping us as well. we just need more involvement. And look at this game. We're forgetting about we're supposed to be commentating this game and having such a nice conversation with you, but the amazement level right now is shocking. Next threat is quite frankly slapping the opposition around right now, and that's definitely not something that Force really wanted. I know Domo was very disappointed in their last event. Columbus, they placed second. Anaheim, they lost every single game they played, and now they seem to be stuck in the same sort of rut, even with the rebuilt team. And even coming off of when you play games and you're losing against better players, it's never fun no matter what. And coming to events like this, it's even worse.
One thing in playing with some of the top pros I noticed is how they're able to rebound from losses like this. And it's easy to get discouraged and let when it rains it pours just come down on you like, oh my gosh, things are terrible, and be in a near quit mode. But for guys that can just not get on tilt like that, for guys that can just wipe the slate clean and come back the next round and show what they have, well, we'll see what they have.
Do you ever get that frustrated in public rooms?
In pub rooms, not so much, but in game battles, I have.
Yeah.
In game battles, it can be discouraging when a team completely dominates you, and the difference between a pro and an amateur is how they come back from that.
Yeah, I agree. So this matchup's going to end. Next threat doing what I expected from them, and completely coming out on top of this match. And I think they're going to be a team to really worry about, and I think Leverage is going to have to put them in check if they want to hold on to their championship status. Do you have any favorites, or do you have a team that you root for?
Yeah, I pull for the Optic guys, and I pull for the Envious guys. I've met a lot of them.
Yeah, so you got some establishments with those teams, so it's always nice to have some backing and some fans. Are you going to be sticking around the rest of the day here?
Oh, I'm going to be sticking around all day and all night, all weekend.
Awesome stuff. Well, I will see you later. Thanks so much for participating in this kind of last-minute decision to bring you on board for the commentary. But we're going to see some more from you. And once again, it's Woody's Gamer Tag here. And I'm sure it's going to be a great event. We're going to cut to a quick commercial, and we're going to get Corey Dunn back in the booth so we can continue on with the rest of the matchup.
It's been an honor.
Yeah, thank you again.
Hello and welcome back to the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm Corey Dunn alongside Holiday Doc, as right now we're underway with the matchup between Quantic Next Threat and Force. And the general consensus across the board on Twitter, what we've gotten so far throughout all of our posts, have been that Quantic Next Threat was going to take this one over Force. We had some of those that were trying to take the dark horse, trying to take the upset with Force taking it 3-2. But I'm kind of right there on the board with them about the idea that Next Threat was going to take this one. I didn't get the opportunity to sit there and go and say that. But let's go ahead, and our next game type is going to be Search and Destroy here on Hanoi between these two teams.
Yeah, the consensus was still Next Threat, taking it, and I think it was 7-0 CTF. So, woo, that's a blowout. And if they can carry that momentum into Search, this could be a potentially very quick Search game go down. So right now we're seeing that heavy push towards the spotlight, trying to nail some pre-nades, trying to nail some pre-fires there. Ooh, wow. Double exchange there going on from top of Gallows and top theater. Vengeance actually getting the kill on Mochilla, which I don't know if you caught, is Spanish for backpack.
Oh, I did know that. I knew that beforehand. College actually taught me that. I did not know that beforehand. But that's right now we're on board here with Huddle, who's trying to be able to make his move here through that spotlight area, back over towards that B-bomb site. Trying to open things up. He's got his teammate, who's pushing in there towards that B-bomb site. That's Dose, who's moving in. As we've got some Spanish flair going on here for Force, as now they're going to go ahead and continue trying to be able to make their move here towards this B-bomb site. 30 seconds left to play here in the round, as Sipser is going to be able to take down Huddle, and the backside, the teammate, Vengeance, able to take out his own teammate, but Vengeance says, well, all right, I screwed up, but I'll go ahead and clean up the board there, picking up the round, as now the score's going to be 1-0 right off the start.
Yeah, Sensor picked up that brilliant shot when he jumped in the air and countered the initial shot over on A side, and that just kind of opened the way for the players to duck out of hiding. And Vengeance, didn't do so well, but cleaned up his mistake by pulling out the first victory here and switching back over. Every time we see Vengeance play, he's a very strong player, almost underrated, because when you think of top players like Assassin and Big Timer and Merc and Rambo and
You just mentioned the
Stainville,
whole
Nate,
Optic
yeah.
Gaming team.
Well, it just all comes to me. It's like, wow, this guy's so good. This guy's so good. This guy's. The list is just so long, but Vengeance really isn't mentioned
Exactly,
in that list.
That was the point that you're trying to make, that Vengeance is not noticeably out there as a top player, but I was watching him communicate with his team, and his facial expressions was so serious. Gaming is serious business. You have to remember that.
Super serious.
As right now we're on board here with Sensor. It's down to a 4-on-3 with Dos, Mochila, and Domo here for Force, trying to be able to defend here. As right now it's Sensor pushing here towards that B bomb site. He's got some cover fire on both sides of this room, and he's waiting to be able to make his push. As right there, Vengeance back into Domo, as he's going to go ahead and try to be able to get the bomb planted here towards that side. As you can see, he's using just a sliver to be able to check, to be able to come back around. As Sensor's going to get taken down, but Saint's going to be able to answer back. As right there, you notice Vengeance spotted one member. That was Mochila, and he's just been able to keep back all the way back around, flushing him out. And right now, this is those moments that we love as being broadcasters.
Yep.
We mention about top players, and they're coming up big. And right now, Vengeance is 6-0.
Wow. In Surge, that's a big number. When you compare it to like public room stuff, a 6-kill game in Surge, it's not really a big deal. But when you're playing against, the top ranked teams in North America, dropping 6 kills early on in the first 2 rounds, that's a huge deal.
As right now we're back over here on board here with Mochila, ironically enough, carrying a pack of his own. As
there's a t-shirt for you.
Oh, nice. Carry a pack. As again we're back here, they're focusing their attention over here towards that B bomb site. I guess they don't want to break that mold. The cookie cutter team here so far is
everybody goes to B. Kind of gets monotonous.
I wouldn't go that far. Monotonous is a very strong word. There's so much flexibility that is not being utilized.
True.
As right now you got Mochila, spots out, peeks out through that box window, taking down Saints. As they are being very meticulous, pushing here towards that B bomb site. But Vengeance coming in with his 7th kill, but finally getting taken down there by Huddle. It's going to be all left up to the LMS. That's Virus. He has not chimed in on the board yet so far, as he's gone 0 for. He hasn't died yet either, and he's got 30 seconds to be able to push in here down to this 1v2. And there goes Dos. He's going to be able to take out Virus there on the other side. As now we've seen a sign of life coming in here from Force as they pick up their first actual point here in this whole series.
Yeah, doing very well so far. Next threat, that is.
Right.
Finally finally Force been able to put a point on the board first time, and I just don't know what's going wrong for them. It seems like they're placing themselves well. They're just not holding on to those kills. We've seen them placed in an advantageous spot, but when they had the kill in front of them, they almost choked.
I'm probably going to get ragged for this, but
they should have had a mouse.
I'm not going to go that far. We've done so well with all that, but Wow. Are you serious?
Wall fail right there. His leg sticking through the door, allowing Sensor to be like, free kill, thank you.
Clipping at the finest. As right there, Sensor is just pushing air inside of this B bomb site. But what I was getting at is the emotions. You could see it's amount of confidence that are in these teams. We've seen Domo at these past 2 events back in Anaheim and Columbus, and the confidence is just not there. Even though he was able to put up some great numbers in Columbus, the confidence is just not there, as he's just pushing in senselessly, as Sensor's going to be able to get taken down there by Domo.
Man.
And they're going to be able to push in here towards that B bomb site, be able to get the defuse. And so now we're all tied up at 2. As they're finally starting to be able to put things back up on the board here and starting to make a difference. But it's the first of 4, and we'll see what happens here.
So Force, on this defensive side, watching B, I noticed a difference. They backed up a little bit less, or a little bit more, waited and got the kills when they thought it was necessary. But I didn't see that over push. I didn't see that aggressive push into spotlight, which was getting them killed beforehand. And now we've seen the more passive play that got them the victory. Hopefully they hold on to that. But what I would have done, is not go to B this time though. I would have tried to change it up. At least when when you have an opportunity like you do now.
Almost ricocheted and caught himself with his own frag grenade, as now he's still trying to be able to watch over there from top over there towards that movie room from the light room.
That was a little bit of a sloppy action there. I think he got a little bit worried and just fired downrange instead of lining up the shot first. But Dose now looking for a kill, looking to wall bang right through the side there. Not picking up any markers, so you can be safe that their teammate who was up there is probably alone. Mochilla kind of sniffing out the bomb, making sure nobody pops out and kills his teammate. Dose laying down here with the action. They've left the complete middle wide open. And wow. They exchanged one for one there.
Hook, line, and sinker as Mochila is able to take him out. As now you're still here watching Dose, as it's down to a 2-on-2. Virus and Vengeance. That Vengeance is one of the members he wanted to be alive here. As he's been able to take down Mochila, still pushing in. Dose all by himself. Spotted and taken down by Vengeance. He's 10-2.
I think he got 3 kills this round. Almost an ace. He was at 7-2 last round. Didn't pick up a kill. This round he's at 10. He's at
10-2 so far, doing work here.
Yeah, doing an amazing job. Saints not doing so strong on the Search and Destroy game, but he was pulling out big numbers on the CTF. So maybe Search isn't quite his game, but they do have other players that slip into those roles when needed, and that what makes you a well-rounded team. Being able to transition like that. So hopefully they're able to hold on to their lead so far, or at least make something of it. But nice shot. Domo picks up a kill right through the top of the grid there, looking into medic or the pack side there, and picking up that kill. Vengeance now looking to take care of that player who obviously got called out.
Oh wow, Domo able to pick up 3 so far, and now it's going to be left up to Virus, as he's going to have to be able to move all the way back around towards that A side, and Domo's streak is ended. But you have to give it up. He was able to take out 3, and now he's going to go try to be able to push back here through this film room. And the bomb is down over there in that jailhouse area.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot right now. It is a 2-on-1. He's got to worry about planting the bomb, defending it, and holding off against these 2 other guys. It's going to be a difficult task, as he's already been spotted. So now the call's been made. And there it goes. Mochilla just swooped in behind right after the call was made, picked up the kill.
That was one of those things. Once he was spotted, he should have changed his whole MO and tried to do something a little bit differently there.
But he just didn't have the time.
Oh, well, the only thing that I can sit there and say is this is the point where you have to be a Slayer and go in, because they know where you're going. Mm-hmm. They know that you're going to be on that A-bomb site, and they're going to collapse on you one way or another. And it's just one of those. It's an idea. It's how you play the game. It could go either way, like you said.
Absolutely. So they are going back to the cookie cutter formation right on B. We got 3-man push. 2 kind of slowly progressing. One's watching the center C cut, and the other guy is up on the hanged man, or the guillotine. Sorry.
The guillotine.
Slipped my head there. And it looks like they're looking directly into long. No action yet, which is kind of surprising, as they usually defend B very closely and watch through both the doorway and through the over the head there. So no movement over here means that they probably watch an A a little bit more. And now they're going to have to transition back over and switch back to B.
They may be coming back around towards the flank side, maybe even thinking about trying to get a good retake on this bomb site. Saints back into Domo, so they are over there near that A side and pushing in, and Saints being able to pick up his 2nd kill so far, as now it's going to be down to a 2-on-4. Dose is not feeling comfortable, pulls out of that B bomb site and gets taken down there by Sensor Mochila all by himself. He's got 20 seconds left to be able to pull this one off. He's down to a 1-on-4. And all bets are in as this round is over, and Saints picks up his 3rd kill to actually show some sign of life. They're in the Search and Destroy map there, so that's going to be 4-3. It came down to an overtime round, though.
Yeah, the Force was able to hold on to a little bit longer of this match. Unfortunately, weren't able to nail it away in the overtime like you just said, but I just don't understand fully what's going on, because I'm seeing nice formations from Team Force. They're not able to hold on to it in the last moments of each play there. So it's kind of difficult to call.
What we watched there, though, it was a default strat coming in there for Force.
Yep.
You had Dose back over there peeking through, watching, making sure nobody decides to push up. You had Mochilo working back around over there towards the gate side, and you had another member pushing in towards that B-bomb site.
Yeah.
And we saw it time and time again, and if that ended in shambles, if it ended up getting broken apart, the round was over.
Yeah, there was no backup plan, it seemed.
All right, so again, right now the score 2-0 in here in the series between Next Threat and Force, as we're about to head into the third game time domination on Summit. So stick around here on the Call of Duty Black Ops stream, as we'll be right back here in just a moment.
Welcome back, everybody. Holiday Doc here with the 2011 Raleigh, North Carolina. This is the Pro Circuit Call of Duty, and we're seeing some great matchups so far. Unfortunately, Force not able to do anything so far in this match, getting taken out, 2-0. Next Threat coming out super strong, holding on to what everybody kind of predicted. Whether it's the forums, whether it's the general community, and definitely what Twitter thought as we asked everybody. Next Threat is the team to kind of watch out for.
One of the things that I'm not looking forward to is Domination Summit. And it's not because of the game type, but for what's about to come. And you'll know after the end of this game,
you think
exactly
we're
what I mean.
See a Columbus?
No, not to that extent.
Okay.
But close. All right, so let's go ahead and hop right in and see if the predictions are true. Domination Summit right here between Next Threat and Force. As we're going to go ahead and start things off here with Sensor here with Quantic Next Threat. And remember, Vengeance was coming unglued there on Search and Destroy there on Hanoi. As right now, we're watching, they're going to go ahead and try to be able to pick up that nice grenade there coming in from
really
Domo,
nice,
picking off Sensor and Saints. And then Virus coming back around, chiming in with his own kill as well. A nice headshot, being able to connect there, being able to pick up 2 so far, as the B domination site belongs here to Next Threat.
Wow, that's kind of always the case there. Sorry to step on our toes a bit, but he jumped through the window. As soon as he leaves the point, it seems like every time you do that, that's when the opposition pulls in and they shoot you in the back. It's so frustrating, from a player standpoint, and to have it happen is the worst thing. But bouncing back very nicely, they're grabbing C or B, but not able to hold on to B. But they got to get some points here real quick. C's not like the easiest to capture either, especially on this side. Like we've seen in the first matchup, those nades are just so devastating. You get on there with one player, you don't want a chance putting 2 on just in case those nades do land, but when you only put the 1 player on, chances are it's going to take longer and you could potentially get taken out time and time again.
As they're still trying to be able to hold down this B domination site, both the A and C domination site belong to Force. As they're going to go ahead and make their move, going to work in, being able to pick up this C domination site. Now B and C both belong to Next Threat. Now they've got a nice little triple cap coming in here for Quantic Next Threat, and they're going to try to be able to maintain and hold down here for the rest of this game.
Yeah, Virus placed nicely, swooping around here, top gold, exchanging markers, not able to hold on to that kill, but it looks like A is trying to get taken there, and he is right in front of somebody. Oh, it didn't look like that was his team. I thought what is he doing? But they did get C, they're holding on to B, and ultimately, I like this positioning the best. Look at, just another 3-piece goes down, but when you have C and B, you can respond to B being taken a lot quicker than you can having A and B. The nades are a lot easier to throw from topside. The routing is a lot easier to get through. You're not forced into a bottleneck like bottom gold, and topside B is a lot easier to flow to back and forth every time. So ultimately, this is the place to be in, and it's a good spot that they're in so far. And ultimately, this could be the final moments of this matchup.
It's the exact strategy that Eon Optic Gaming are known for here on Domination Summit. They work that C and B domination site. They wait for the opportunity to be able to take at least 3 down. Then they make their move and forcing them to spawn over there towards that A domination site while maintaining a triple cap. And they're trying to be able to do that right here against a team like Force, but Domo being able to pick up 2 kills there with that AK-74U, as now they have the B and C domination site. They forced themselves in a bind as they try to push up to be able to pick up that triple cap and push in, and now the tide has turned here for Force.
Yeah, when you overextend yourself like that, you got to be careful that you're positioned nicely and you're able to hold on to those kills, because when you're strung so thin among the field, you're going to get caught, and then it's just a matter of time before they work you into a spawn trap like they are right now. But hopefully they're able to push out, as a nice grenade there from Saints. Not able to hold on to as Damo peeks out the corner, takes out Saints, and Vengeance finally answers back, taking out Mochilla. Pretty even gameplay on that matchup. They just got to get these points back on the board, and B goes down. They're trying to get C, and a nade almost lands, taking both of them out. But Dos able to swoop in behind and take out Virus as he tries to escape right on rails.
Well, Nextra needs to be thankful for the fact that they were able to get that C spawn to be able to push back around, as most of the members there for Force were over there towards that A domination site. But quickly, they were able to chime quickly back in there with their own kills, as now the B domination site here belongs to Next Threat. And this game is really, it's tight. It's tied up, as now Next Threat has been able to still hold on. Now they've got the lead. But this game is just going back and forth. It's a lot tighter than I expected. And these are one of those cases that I want to be wrong on anyway, as right now Force is trying to be able to hold their own here against Next Threat. Oh, wow.
Whoa, Saints a little bit slow to react to that and kind of almost behind on the shot. Fortunately, able to hold it out in the last couple shots, but he got called out, so now he's getting stunned. And a back turn there. Oh, huge play. His teammate saved his butt there, and Saints able to hold on to his life a little bit longer, trying to make his way over here and grab C for another triple cap. Minute 39 left. Ultimate, I don't know if I'd go for a triple cap at this point.
Well, looking at it, they're just trying to do whatever they can here, as right now his teammate Virus was taken out there by that frag grenade. Now he's going to go ahead and push back in and start to be able to make some moves here. He knows that they're probably going to start heading there towards that B domination site, but he's stunned and gets taken down there by Domo.
Yeah, that was a hard play to go to right there. Virus now swooping in just at the nick of time, grabbing B, or grabbing the player closest to B. Could have been trying to take it. Now he's pushing over to C, grabbing, a nice kill. Mochilla getting taken out on the dive and then getting caught trying to jump up. Domo picking out a kill in here. Just taking a look at the scoreboard real quick. Hurdle is doing very well. Domo following right behind him, going even, but then 2 players at the bottom, Dos and Mochilla, having a lot of troubles getting some kills here, but on the turn point of that, they both have 3 captures, and Dos has 3 defends as well. So it's not always about the kill to death, but you definitely need to be going even on this matchup.
It's all about the when and where, as right now, looking at it, Censor's not really holding his weight on his side, as he gets taken out there by Domo, as now it's 20 seconds left to play. This is a tight game. We're under a double digit here. We're still set single digits between these two teams. A 6-point lead. That's about to change dramatically. We're down to 3 points. It may end up being even, as it's going to be a 3-point lead here going in favor. It's going to be a 3-point lead here in favor of Force. They're at the end of the game, 109-106 here for the first half, and I'm happy because
it was a lot closer than expected from both of us.
Exactly the opposite of what I expected.
Yeah, which is good, because we could see Force, hold together, come back, and make something happen here. But then again, with only 3 points on the board in the first half as the lead, 3 points is nothing. 3 points doesn't mean anything. It's a clean slate. The second half here is ultimately going to either come in favor of Team Next Threat and come out the victor.
Well, let's revert back what happened there. So far in the beginning of that first half, it looked as if Quantic Next Threat was going to be able to continue with that momentum that they had from the previous 2 game types and carry it in there to that first half. But what happened? What went wrong? They had a triple cap at one point for quite some time.
I think they just spread out too far and then got caught, getting shot in the back from the respawns. The respawns were being taken all over the place, and they didn't have an opportunity to swoop in quick enough and return off of those 3 caps. So
Well, we'll see what happens here in the second half. Right now, Force leading by 3 in domination on Summit. So basically, it's even kill here so far between these two teams. Let's go ahead and hop in here for the second half on Domination Summit here between Next Threat and Force.
So it looks like we're going to be jumping right on board with Forrest, and Dose and his teammates all in front of him. He's the last position on the respawn, so he's not going to be in any danger of any grenade throwing responsibilities, but it looks like he is going to take the path down below. Oh, he is going to go for the over the head. Now that nade he was throwing is aimed towards A, and it can land right in the hands of anybody trying to cap A. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way, and something I didn't really expect is the initial C flag capture. Is dangerous, like we said before, because of the nade throws from cross map. But Hurdle coming up huge there with a nade on B and defending C at the same time.
As right now, Dose being able to push in there, able to take down Virus, still being able to try to move his way back into that main control. As Vengeance dropping 2 and finally getting taken down there by Domo.
Ooh, getting caught there, trying to take out 1. Sensor saves his teammate, and Saints coming up big again with a kill on Hurdle, and securing that center doorway, topside B there. It's kind of like a choke point or almost a slaughterhouse if you're trying to make it through there. And even topside glass is being taken care of right now, so that's going to be a hard point to try and take away at this point. And It looks like they are going for a triple cap. Virus, huge play, jumping overboard, knocking everybody out of his way, trying to take C by himself. Unfortunately, Mochilla was in a better spot up top and denied that opportunity.
As right now, Dose trying to be able to push in here towards that top control. As he's got a stun out, he can still be able to make his move. Wrapping back around out of the window. Nice move to be able to take down Sensor, but you put yourself in no man's land, and he gets taken out quickly after.
I keep referencing to Huddle as Hurdle. I don't know why. It just kind of got stuck in my head. But, yes, it is Huddle. And, we've seen some numbers from him so far. Right now he's at 4 and 5, whereas his teammates are both stuck at double neg. Not so bad so far, as it's only 2 and 4, but still, it's kind of a start to this game that you don't want to have when the first round is kind of chalked off as a no man's win.
Oh, wow.
And, Virus landing the big nade on B, defending it.
As right now, that's a 17-point lead coming in here for Next Threat. As now looks like they've been able to get a nice little triple cap coming in here for Force, as they're trying to answer back quickly now. As coming back on the other side, they've got a C spawn and starting to be able to push in there. Domo picking up 2, coming up big, shutting down Saints and Virus. There with that AK-74U holding it down. And Dose and Huddle help out as well, clearing the board, and they're going to have to restart all over again. And we'll see how this one's going to pan out again. They're back over there towards that C domination side. Can he do it again? Utilizing those shadows, pushing it back around. Domo picking up another kill so far. He's got a FAMAS to be able to work with. And finally, that streak has ended. Vengeance had enough and ended him there with that frag grenade.
That was a great play, and steady aim being put to full use there. Relying on just how accurate hipfire can be when you combine those perks together. And then when you combine it with the grip on the AK, it just makes it a deadly weapon to go up against here. And in close quarter, all the close quarter matchups he went against, he won. And then finally, like you said, Vengeance putting an end to it by just avoiding the gunfight and just cooking the nade for him.
To me, this is honestly completely unexpected from watching the playing style in those first 2 matchups and seeing how they were playing. As right now they're just doing a great job. They're communicating well. They're flowing well, moving from domination site to domination site. As right there you got Huddle. He gets taken down there by Sensor. I still believe that Quantic Next Threat has the better shot right now. They have the better accuracy right now.
They've also managed to come back and reply to their trip cap by one of their own, and holding on to these points. A finally gets taken out, but Saints and Virus in very good positions to defend the points on the map, control the spawns, and hold it down here. Vengeance walking into A, taking care of it, and it looks like they're losing B. Nobody's in a spot to defend this right now. Or losing A, sorry.
And quickly after that, they were able to answer back, as now again they're holding down, and you've got Virus who's watching over that A domination site. Now is going to have to force that spawn over there towards that C side here for Force. As now we're on board here with Huddle, who's teamed up there, and they'll be able to pick up that C domination site. 75-78. I believe we're at a tie game at this point. A 1-point lead now here for Quantic next
Look at
round with 2 minutes left to play.
Look at how many times the reset button's been hit on this matchup.
No
So
doubt.
times, they've been back and forth, going to even points, and it's unexpected, very unexpected to see. Next threat is bouncing back time and time again, but Force is showing us that they're not out until they're out.
As right there, Sins are able to take down Huddle. As now Dose watching over there towards that C domination side. They have the B and C side. As right now, a little bit of conflict over there towards that B domination side. Virus push again. Cooking the grenades going to be Dose back over there towards that B side. Not going to be able to connect. As we're at 1:20 left to play. 3-point lead coming in here for Force so far. Being able to maintain and hold down this B and C side. As now that B domination side has he's got a couple members there for Quantic next threat. Since are going to go ahead and delay potential to be able to come back around and flank in towards that B domination side. And Dose under a lot of trouble getting taken down there. If he went towards that B side, he may have been able to make a little bit of an impact. Probably not as much as you might think.
I kind of like it, though. He knew he was not in a position to engage that gunfight. He got called out. He just killed a teammate that was headed towards gold. I think he did the right thing by not challenging that fight and just trying to take A. However, he should have been in a better position to watch for the respawns already on that direction.
Agreed. As 30 seconds left to play, and we've got a 12-point lead here in the second half. Coming in here for Quantic next threat, so they've got a 9-point lead overall. Make that a 10-point lead as things are starting to wind down. This game is going to go here to Quantic next threat, but you got to give it up to Force there at the end part of that game as they were able to keep it tight. Like you said, they hit the reset button several times throughout that game. As Quantic next threat takes this series 3-0, is this going to be a trend for the rest of tonight?
Hey, if teams are this prepared against the opposition right now, that's just going to show us that these later matches for tomorrow are going to be that much more entertaining. With these 3 sweeps so far, all we're seeing is that some teams are just more prepared. And, with the shots of next threat right now and just how pinpoint accurate they were and their setups especially, I was so impressed at their CTF gameplay and how well their formations went down and how well that they defended their flag runners on the way back. It was really good to watch. I enjoyed it fully, and as much as these 3 sweeps are hard for the opposition, they're very entertaining for some people to watch. So we've got more and more to go on for tonight. And what's the next matchup?
Next matchup is going to be Eon Optic Gaming going up against Influence. This is the matchup that out of all of ours so far, other than the Envy versus Quantic next threat. As you can see right there, you've a quick little flash. Yep. We wanted to give you an idea, a glimpse.
Teaser.
Subliminal messaging, if you will. But just for those of you that actually really do care, they're coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Eon Optic Gaming going up against Influence, and then following that with Eon Envy going up against Quantic next threat. And then following up and closing out the night is going to be Quantic Leverage going up against Obey Pro at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So for those of you that want to call it a late night here on Friday night here at in Raleigh, North Carolina, that's how you do it. That's going to be another great matchup to watch as well.
Mm-hmm. So lots of gameplay to still go on, and make sure you are tuning in and buying that HD Pass, the gold membership that allows you to see some extras. The behind the scenes while everybody else gets to view commercials, you get to view and see what all the audience is seeing, and it's definitely a better way to view the stream in that HD format. So hope you do that. And
so right now, again, the final score there was 3-0 overall throughout the series there between these two teams. Between Quantic next threat and Force. So let's get a little bit better of an insight there with Zach, who's down there with Saints.
I'm here with Saints, the new member to Quantic next threat. You guys pulled out the 3-0. Anyways, let's backtrack though. You're new to the team. What do you bring to this team?
Extra slaying power, because Virus and Vengeance are already great slayers. We have amazing slaying power. That's what's making us really dominant. So. We're starting off real good, so that's always a good start.
Definitely. So Raleigh was just a month ago. Talk about your practice regimen a little bit. How did you guys practice a lot coming into this event, or what?
Yeah, we came prepared to this event. We practiced a lot, but Center has football, and we took the day off, the last day of scrimming off until all of us left to Raleigh. because we felt that we needed a break, and it seems like it turned out pretty well. So.
Totally. And last question: who else in your pool is could be a next threat? All puns aside, who else do you see as a threat?
Envious. They're a good team. They've always been looking real good, so they have good players on their team. So looking forward to playing them later tonight.
All right. Well, thanks, man. Best of luck in the rest of the tournament. And guys, back to you.
All right, so thanks a lot, Zach. Down there with Saints, kind of got a little idea of what's to come, what they want out of this pool.
Yeah.
And but coming up next, we've got Eon Optic Gaming going up against Influence. One of the matchups that I've been looking forward to seeing so far throughout here for today, and maybe even catch a glimpse. Maybe we won't even see a 3-0 run again.
I don't know about that. It's going to be hard, the trend's already been set. They got to live up to expectations. People were expecting 3-0 sweeps week. They got to deliver.
If that's what you want, let's go ahead. I'm really focusing a lot on this Twitter. I like this whole community aspect.
Yeah, you've been diving into Twitter lately. It's nice to see.
Hey, man, I'm
communicating.
Got to be part of the community properly.
Yep.
So
got to jump on those bandwagons. So, like we said earlier on, we got Eon Optic. Yeah, trendsetter.
I'm a trendsetter.
Trendsetter and T-shirt maker.
One day.
So, like we said earlier, the matchups later on tonight: Eon Optic Gaming versus Influence. So, Influence picked up some new people this past game. They didn't drop Saints, but Saints and Solo. Maybe it was a trade off. So acquisitions being made. Solo was part of Twisted Method at Anaheim. Felt that he could be better used on Influence or whatever, and. I'd like to, maybe talk to him later on, see how this matchup, or see what his choices were, see why he was brought on board with Influence. Influence has always been a strong team name in the community, and it just seems like now they're working their way back in and trying to make something happen.
It's been some time since we've really seen Influence at their top potential, where they were, but it's always like you said. I like having multiple teams at their top potential. And again, I'm happy that you brought it up because I completely forgot about mentioning it, saying that Call of Duty is at its infantile stages back in Dallas, and how things have started to develop and grow, and see where it's come from and where we're getting at now. And it's great. Things have really blossomed, if you will.
Yeah, good work.
But coming up here at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So for those of you that are Central, my time, that's 7 p.m., as well as those of you on the West Coast, that is at 5 p.m. We've got Eon Optic Gaming going up against Influence here in just a moment. And remember, those predictions, send them out. Let us know, and we'll give you our own little post coming up here at 8 o'clock. We'll be right back for the Call of Duty Black Ops stream here in just a moment.
Welcome back, everybody. We got Optic Gaming and Influence coming up soon. But before that, I got Rambo. How you doing, dude?
I'm pretty good right now.
Optic Gaming plays third at the first event, first at the second event, third at the third event. There's a pattern there. Are we saying first this event or what?
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Good to hear. So Anaheim is only, a month ago. What have you done since then?
Well, obviously we try to keep up with the practice, even though it's a bit hard since some players went back to school and everything in general is just schedule's a bit iffy. But I mean, we've got some good games in, and it's probably the best we've ever looked online before in an event. So I'm pretty confident about it. No, go ahead.
Glad to hear it, man. Well, best of luck this match, and I'm going to throw it back to you, Corey and Holiday.
All right, so thanks a lot, Zach, out there talking with Rambo.
Rambo, the man.
The Rambo. Talking with Rambo there from Eon Optic Gaming. The names keep getting longer and longer and longer, but hey,
it's all good.
I'll show some respect after a while. I'm just going to narrow it down to just O.
Yeah, we got 3 Eons
I'm gonna call
in
them
the tournament
O.
so far. They have Eon Instinct for Halo. Mm-hmm. We got Eon Envy. Mm-hmm. And we got Eon Optic Gaming. Mm-hmm. And we bugged Hex all last event trying to figure out what Eon was, and didn't really get much out of him. I did, however, managed to sneak it out of him this event. Maybe we can talk to him later on, maybe get a stage interview with Hex and, really try to see what's going on with Eon, because anytime you have an organization that's willing to step up and sponsor and ultimately help out esports, it's good for everyone. And, the same thing goes with other big name sponsors and teams. We got, Team Liquid and the StarCraft guys is a huge team over there. We've got Quantic also, who sponsors some StarCraft as well as us over here in Call of Duty. So, these big name organizations helping everybody out. But so far, how can you sum up this night? How's it gone as far as, what you expected?
I forgot my broom back at the hotel room. So, bunch of sweeps. That's all we've seen so far, 3-0. But, the first series was a little bit lopsided. But Force put up a little bit of a fight. They were able to push Search and Destroy into an overtime.
Yeah.
And then there on Domination Summit, it was extremely close. Like you mentioned, there was a lot of resets throughout the game, and
more than any time we've seen.
But there, in the end, Quantic next threat being able to close the door, and you say that there's a potential that it can do the same here with Eon Optic Gaming and Influence. I think there's a possibility as well. And I made a comment saying that I want to do predictions every single go around, and I'm not going to let this one slip away. But let's go ahead and go to a quick break here for just a moment. We'll give you our predictions here in just a moment, here with Optic Gaming going up against Influence here in this Best of 5 series here in Raleigh, North Carolina. All right, so welcome back to the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit here with Call of Duty Black Ops. I'm Corey Dunn alongside Holiday Doc, as we're about to get underway with our third matchup with Eon Optic Gaming going up against Influence.
So it looks like there was another team change to Influence that we didn't really pick up on. It looks like J-Bone has joined the ranks, as we've seen the crossed out name and some penciled in marks there.
Oh, that's great, man. You got to give
artistic.
That's what I want. I want name tags that are all just like that. I think somebody needs to come out with a jersey that's just made out of just something like that. I mean, everybody else, they've got these nice printed jerseys, and I think somebody should come out with some different type of flair. But with this matchup, where our game types are going to consist of Capture the Flag on Summit, then Search and Destroy on Havana, Domination Firing Range, Capture the Flag on Hanoi, and then following that up, if we get to it, Search and Destroy on Firing Range. I said predictions. Let's go ahead and give it really quickly. I think it's going to be a 3-1 in favor of Optic Gaming. Go.
No. No means no, man. I'm not doing predictions. It's not happening. It's just there's too many times that we're seeing that teams are just. Last event in particular, how many times did I give predictions, and how many times did I get...
Let's go ahead and get underway.
Fine.
Since he's not going to give our predictions. Optic Gaming and Influence kicking it off here on Capture the Flag here on Summit.
Jumping right on board, we're going to go to the man, the action himself, Rambo, as he's leading the team here, team captain for Eon Optic Gaming, and we're going to see how they push out on the start of this map. And I say it every time, the start of these games is probably the most important part of the match, and ultimately the second being, winning it eventually. But both teams exchanging 1-for-1, and Rambo almost had a 3-piece lined up as he grabbed the nade, and 2 people lined up directly in front of him. However, only able to land one. Solo heading upstairs into top gold, or top glass, nailing out a kill, and Solo responding and taking out Merc from the side.
As we're back over here with Big Timer, starting to be able to push back over here towards the rails. He thinks there's one over here. He's going to continue to push up cautiously. He's going to be able to take down Solo, wrapping in, and explodes like a party favor, getting taken down there by Nameless. As now it's back over here to JCap. They're still being able to maintain over here towards that rail side. As JCap pushing in, has yet to be able to capitalize the kill. A lot of time has expired so far between this little gunfight, and I think he's playing a ring around a Rosie by himself, but he'll be able to pick up one, taking down Nameless, pushing back in. He's going to drop there by Solo, as not much action has happened yet. I haven't even seen a flagpole yet.
No flagpoles on either side of the map. That kind of means that this is an even matchup.
There's been one flagpole because there's a return there from Merc.
Yeah, there you go. So one flagpole, but it seems both teams are getting caught in the middle of the map, both exchanging halfway through their respawn routes, and that's going to lead for a very even game. So far, we're seeing JCap now pushing up over into the barrel side or on the far side. He did get called out. They've got some nice stuns on him, holding him off, and ultimately he's got to wait up here and wait for his team to back him up if he wants to try and pull his flag.
He's going to go ahead here through that generator room. He knows that one's over back there. He's going to go and try to be able to push in there by himself. And we'll talk a little bit more about you just motioned for. It's one of the things that I talked to JCap about for probably about 15 minutes, and that's his switching back and forth between his gun. And it has caught him so many times, as you can see right now, exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. Ooh, Rambo coming up big there, defending his own flag run as he was working his way back. Somebody positioned on the right side or left side rails and was trying to wait for him, but Rambo picked up on it nicely, grabbing the kill, and they've defended this flag run very, very nicely. You know, covered all the spots, but the last couple seconds there, J-Bone was able to land the kill, but so much support means that he just had to rally it in, and ultimately first flag cap goes to Optic.
Optic doing a great job being able to rally up and be able to pull that flag and make the move over there. I believe that was towards Summit side. And to be able to get that flag cap 1-0 so far. 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here in the first half. As we're on board here with Merck. Merck with that AK-74U trying to be able to make a shot. Almost connects, but he's got some teamwork coming in there from JCap. As now we're back over here still watching. He's going to start to push over here towards the high ground.
Yeah, pushing up to this point is very crucial. This allows you to defend your flag runs, defend off the respawn routes, and push in when time being to grab these respawns. And nice pickup there. Merck knew that the spawns were pushed to that side and grabbed a nice easy kill as he jumped over. But now he's on his lonesome. Got no support with him, and he did get called. Nice nade landing right in front of him there. Beautiful timing.
That's his 4th kill so far. He's been able to control his accuracy so well, and finally Nameless is going to be able to take him down. He was able to pick up 4 kills throughout that little scene that we saw. As now we're going to be back over here with JCap here from Optic Gaming. Again, Optic leading this one by 1 as he starts to be able to push back in, able to take down Nameless, pushing in. He's going to get caught off guard, and I'm usually...
Somebody's got to take that boy's Y button out and not let him use it anymore. I'm just going to go over to his controller. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to take out the ability to press it.
I think that
solve it.
Head count is an MLG mod, but we'll let it fly if it helps the case.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are catching that on the stream as well as we are here at the event, but the YYs are so persistent that they are delaying him on the reaction time as well as his accuracy pulling up on the kills. Unfortunately, we've got his other teammates here pushing in. Merck is doing really well. Merck has been pushing spawn and pushing this right-hand side very consistently, time and time again. Not only is he making his way this far, but he's holding off the opposite side, respawning. They're forced to back up, forced to put on the brakes, and not able to move out in the middle part of the map, which they'd like to do and try to even up the scoreboard.
As right now you got Merck trying to be able to get a long range there with that AK-74U. It's got 15 seconds left here in the round. Let's go ahead and take a look there. Pluto able to get a flag pull, starting to be able to make his move, and there's some cover there, and Pluto still on the run. As Nameless able to drop 2, still trying to be able to make his way back over there towards his own spawn, and he can't make it in time. And so 1-0 is going to be the first half score in favor of Optic here over Influence. Well, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what JCap is doing. If we can get the chance, I want to sit there and look at how JCap holds the controller.
Yeah. Maybe we can get our remote cam guy to maybe go take a look.
That's what I'm thinking. If our producer can sit here and pay attention enough to be able to know that. But one of the things that I want to look at is I come from that PC world, and I want somebody to clarify for me. I believe it's like the claw on how he's holding it, because his index finger is wrapped around, and that's what his tapping is coming in from.
Yeah, ultimately it's like the nervous twitch.
Right.
And he does it just to maybe keep his hands fresh, keep the momentum fresh, and make sure that he's not pausing up, and his reaction times are staying active. But it's landing down to catching him off guard more often than not.
So if he can have his nervous twitch that I'm going to have mine, I'm going to keep this pin and I'm going to click it the entire time.
I will.
Is that okay with you?
I will remove your fingers.
It can't be okay, because it just cannot happen. You can't have something like that nervous twitch get to you. He's a great player.
Oh, yeah.
But it's caught him so many times, and I know right now the score is all tied up at 1. I know we're getting on a rant here, and I said I wouldn't get on a soapbox. This is a different soapbox, though. I'm allowed to have multiple soapboxes as long as it's not the same one.
Gotcha.
As right now, We're on board here with Nameless.
Ooh,
Nameless
three-piece!
so far been able to pick up 3, starting to be able to hold down this main control, pushing up there through mid. Decides to go through that A domination site. As he's hasn't been contested yet, able to take down Rambo. That's his 4th consecutive. And he'll finally be able to get taken down there by J-Cap.
Yeah, both teams doing very well on this one side of the map. It seems like the difficult part is, their opposite sides. So, how much does this play in effect to their strategies on each sides of the maps? Can they knock out more flags on one side and just try to defend on their less active side or the short side? Either way, they've got something to do here. It's tied up. Overtime, as we've seen beforehand, is pretty much anybody's game. It comes down to who puts out the first mistake, and then the other team simply just capitalizes on it. But whenever we go to an overtime CTF game, it does get difficult because you have to worry about those solid defenders in the back of bases. And on this map in particular, I can tell you that it's one of the most frustrating circumstances to ever go up against. On the bottom side of the spawn, A side, there's that back building that you always have to worry about somebody camping in. Solo's headed up in that direction now, so he's got to be careful that somebody's not hiding, just waiting for him to grab flag. And I can tell you, overtime is not the way to go.
As again, now we're back over here with Solo. Solo spots one. He's under a lot of gunfire, going to get taken down there by Rambo. 2 minutes left to play here in regulation here for capture the flag here on Summit. As now we're back over here with J-Bone. J-Bone watching over there towards the rail side. His teammates have started to spawn, as he looks to be on the defensive here. As he spots one, going to go ahead and let him run back around. He may open up the door there for his teammate to get taken out. He's on the chase now. That pulled him away from his position.
Yeah.
But Pluto comes in. He's able to get a flagpole and starting to be able to make his move. J-Bone doing a great job, still trying to hold this area down. But he has yet to see any action as Pluto gets taken down there by J-Cap.
Yeah, that flag run was all by himself.
Yep.
J-Bone was in a good spot, but he knew better than to just walk out there and not stay alive. But Rambo coming around there, ending that very quickly, slicing and dicing, moving his way through, and Merc and Rambo are now pushed up, trying to make something happen here as they're both headed towards this flag. A minute left, you're going to see this very, very slow progression, and it looks like they all kind of put out the brakes, and they're setting up just to hold on to this flag.
I think they're going to try to be able to push it into an overtime here, unless they're able to find an opening. As Solo now starting to be able to push up here through that mid area, he was able to take out Big Timer, and knowing he doesn't want to do it solo, he's going to go ahead and wait for his team. Wraps back around, wasting some time. Nice shot there into J-Cap, and he's going to get taken down there by Merc. He was over there towards that generator side.
3 down right now, 26 seconds left. They have time to grab flag, but I don't think anybody's in a position to make anything happen over on that side. It's too bad, just caught out of place, but J-Bone now just kind of waiting.
As they headed over all the way through that Summit side, they've got 10 seconds to try to be able to get a cap, but J-Bone's going to go ahead and get a counter pull, and so this round will go into an overtime here between Optic Gaming and Influence, and so right there they're able to just maintain and hold off there, and that's going to push us off into an overtime. For those of you that are this is your first time here on the Call of Duty Black Ops stream, Holiday Doc's going to go ahead and explain it for you.
So basically, when you go into overtime, granted you don't really want to go into overtime on CTF, but if you're forced to do it, it's almost like a race. Whoever can capture the first flag and bring it back, that time's recorded. The other team has an opportunity to switch sides and try to beat that time. However, there's a catch. If the first team who capped the flag also caps the second flag, it's an instant win.
Can't do it any better than that. I now am well informed on how capture the flag works for Call of Duty Black Ops in overtime, and that's going to bring us into this matchup. And so far, we were talking about whether these sweeps would continue. If this is any sign of what's to come, then we're definitely not going to see a sweep here.
No, it's kind of unexpected. Influence is a good team, but going up against Eon Optic Gaming, it's kind of like, well, who do you put the smart money on? So
I honestly am a big fan of Nameless. Nameless is actually one of those that I'm really I'm a fan of, that I like to watch and everything like that. But, you know, I've been talking about what's been going on, how to keep within the community. Make sure you check out our Facebook at MLG Pro, and then also MLG on Twitter as well, and then Team Liquid /MLG. All across the board, different types of social avenues to be able to get in touch.
Yep.
But let's go ahead and hop back into it. Capture the flag, overtime here with Influence and Optic Gaming here in the first game time of this best-of-5 series.
Yeah, and now we're going to have to go and watch and see how both teams react to the defensive positioning that's going to take place here. And granted, they might not do it, but on a trend base, both teams faced on defense on this side play very, very heavy defense, or at least with one player at the back part of the map. And 3 down right now. 3 go down for Eon Optic Gaming. That's a bad spot to be in. Good thing Merc's last man alive, and kind of references when Merc goes down, you lose a round, but you know Merc's alive. Merc's alive, so he kind of saved the day. So
Caught me off guard with that one. As right now, you got 2 down there for Influence. Is right now you've got JCap, who's going to get taken out there by Pluto.
another 3 down, and last man alive this time is Big Timer. Big Timer's left to defend this flag, hold on to it, and he does just that as Pluto tried to swoop in, denied that opportunity, but then JCap swooped in, took out Solo, and you know JCap's last man waiting for those spawns. Nameless and his team continuously pushing for this flag, and Optic is denying that every time so far. So you know what we're seeing now is just solid defense from Team Optic right now.
As right now, again, like you said, you've got Merc, who's back over in his own spawn, playing some great defense so far. Taking down Pluto, leaves his backside open to Solo. As now he's got his teammate JCap trying to be able to slow him down. He's going to go ahead and push over here towards that C domination side. He's got 2 to worry about. One of them is right there. He's got his teammate now wrapping back around. Merc able to take down Solo. JCap into Nameless. Flag is down. They're going to go ahead and return that flag. And JCap getting taken down there by Pluto. 3 are out there for Influence. And Optic not yet, hasn't really tried to push up just yet. They've got a couple members pushed over in towards their spawn. But Big Timer getting taken out there.
Yeah, no flag grabs from Optic yet. However, the opposite team, Influence, has 3, but all denied. So you can say that they're not putting enough pressure, but you know they're having to deal with all these flag pushes or flag attempts right now. So their focus is kind of just sitting in the back of their base so far.
Well, I think the main focus is having Merc back over in their own spawn, playing extremely defensive, and then having other members kind of fill in those gaps. As right there, Big Timer under a lot of gunfire is going to go ahead and fall back over there towards the summit side. Solo's going to get dropped there by Merc again, who's back in their spawn and holding it down and making sure that they're unable to get out of the spawn. They've got numerous flag pulls, but yet to be able to get out of that spawn.
Pluto almost turning on Big Timer. Big Timer got the first couple shots. Pluto swooping around, and it was kind of a mixed exchange there, holding on to the kill using the Spectre. And you can always tell people's frustrations by how many times they swap their weapon kit throughout the game, and I think that's Pluto's 3rd swap out. So you know he's not happy with how things are going. And now we see a first flag flag grab by Optic as JCap moved in, grabbed flag, moved up on the rail side, and he does have a teammate. Rambo and Merc grabbing kills. Nameless responding by 2 of his own, turning around. JCap responding, a great awareness and map control there, and now he's going to be contested up front here. He's got to watch out, make sure nobody's on this side, but 137 officially, I think that was a pretty good mark.
That's what I got on it as well.
So now when we move over, Influence has to grab the flag in a minute and with a minute and 37 or less left back on the board. So it's going to be a pretty hard challenge to meet. Optic now has the better defensive side, you know, with the back white building and the barrel or the big container. You know, there's lots of movement for defensive players to move around in and kind of keep people off guard and keep them guessing. And ultimately, if you can frustrate the other team enough, they're going to start playing a little bit more sloppy, and you're gonna pull out the win there.
So if we're looking at it, I mean, so far you and I were both content with saying that Optic Gaming should easily take this pool, and their only conflict is Influence. How big of a deal would it be if Influence was able to pick up this matchup against Optic?
It would be probably the biggest upset we've seen in 3 of these MLG events. I'm not discrediting how good Influence is, but nobody expects Optic to come into their first matchup and on main stage and not come out the victor, right? So
you're right about that. I'm in agreement with something along those lines. But we look at it right now. 3 minutes and 23 seconds is the time frame that they have to get a flag cap. Therefore, Influence. So you're looking at the timer in your bottom left-hand corner. You're going to be looking at a minute 37 is that marker that you're going to be on the lookout for. We're in overtime here for capture the flag in the second half here with Optic Gaming and Influence in this best-of-5 series as we hop on board back into CTF here on Summit. As we're looking at it and see how this one's going to pan out. Merck did a great job back in his spawn and playing very defensive, just holding down, and I think that's what really did it. You mentioned that you had Influence. They had numerous pulls. I think at the end they had 4 pulls, but they were unable to capitalize because somebody was back there playing defensive, and they were unable to get out of that spawn.
It seems like a firecracker got lit here on Influence's team as they're all pushed up super heavy into center part of B. We got 2 guys on Summit that could potentially get caught off guard there as they're clustered too closely. But Rambo and Merc grabbing 2 and denying this first attempt. But Pluto looks like he was trying to go for it anyways. Got called though. JCap wrapped that up and called her a day. But now we're going to see the respawns, and they got to continue to push. They can't let down. But on the same regards, Optic is not content with playing defensively at all. They're trying to push in and potentially just grab this flag and go.
I have yet to see anybody stay back in their own spawn as even Merc is starting to be able to push up here towards that Summit side. Solo headshot into Big Timer. Rambo going to be able to answer back quickly. Nameless on the chase as he's going after Rambo. And Nameless spams but gets taken down there by Rambo. Almost able to connect as now Solo heading over here towards that Summit side.